in this year's draft, 120th overall. So New England, I mean, this isn't new to New England fans. Patriots trading down and stockpiling third-day picks or second-day picks. What do you think the Steelers were thinking? Because you know the Jets were ready to select someone. Who do you think the Steelers like?
So I only have one more offensive tackle in my top 50. It's Broderick Jones from Georgia. The Jets have been widely known as a team that could use another offensive tackle. If you wait here behind the Jets, you're not seeing Broderick Jones. So that, to me, makes the most sense.
It certainly feels that way because the corners, even though you've said there's a drop-off, more of those top-end corners still available than the offensive tackle.
And another thing to keep an eye on, guys, the wide receivers and tight ends, that hasn't started yet. And I think these teams are saying, wait, if they're not going to do it, we're not going to do it. We can wait. This is going to push those guys down. So for some of these other teams, we've talked Green Bay, we talked wideout. You don't need to. None of these guys have gone.
That's right. And the NFL draft, in some respects, guys, outside observer, works like a college basketball game. It's a game of runs. We've had the run of offensive tackles now, and that spurs the urgency for some of these moves.
Well, the last time the Packers chose a wide receiver in the first round still remains Javon Walker, 2002. So in case Rodgers is sitting at home thinking it was him, it's not you. They're still not doing it.
They gave him the "it's not you, it's me" thing.
He's got Garrett Wilson and crew now. I'm sure he's fine. So 2.5 minutes now for the Steelers to make their pick. Then the Jets go, Washington Commanders, and then the Patriots. So rare to see the Steelers move around a draft board, right?
But wouldn't it be interesting, Rich, with Aaron now in New York, that they didn't take that receiver in Green Bay? But Jackson Smith and Jigba still sitting out there. Yeah. And I know that New Jets, they want to get more high-powered on offense as well and add him with a Garrett Wilson. That's a possibility to think about.
The other fun thing, though, Omar Khan, the GM in Pittsburgh, his first lieutenant is Andy Weidel, who came from Philadelphia, where he was with Joe Douglas, also was with Joe Douglas forever with the Baltimore Ravens. They are like best friends. So if anybody knew what the Jets were thinking about doing, it was probably the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And in case anyone's wondering, the most unpredictable part of the draft has just occurred. The house band is doing a medley between Pink Floyd and the Bee Gees. That's just happened here in Kansas City.
That just happened.
I'm like, wait a minute. What is happening? While we're waiting for the Pittsburgh Steelers to pick. Be around a draft long enough, you get medleys out of the blue.
Hey, you go from the wall to spicks and specks. You never know what you're going to get, Rich.
I tell you, your ability to not only focus on the draft, but also the house band is off the charts.
But Joel, you can't ignore the house band. How are you missing them?
They're literally in my skull right now.
Rich, free of charge. If they do go with Broderick Jones, they're trying to keep Kenny Pickett alive. Okay, free of charge.
That's what they're trying to do.
Always a good idea.
All right, so Roger Goodell coming out to announce the Steelers pick. And then the Jets, who are on the clock, a minute and a half in to their selection. Here comes pick 14 tonight in Kansas City.
The New England Patriots have traded the 14th pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia.
Yeah, this one felt obvious, guys. This was really the last one. If you miss out on Broderick Jones, you miss out on the tackle run. And I like the idea of Pittsburgh being aggressive, go up and get him. This is a supremely talented player. Again, another 3-year guy. When you factor in this group of 3-year players, their first year was the COVID year. So you talk about more upside. Like, they didn't get a full season. They didn't get a full off season. There's more growth here. But you talk about talent that this guy possesses. He can mirror rushers. He is big. He is physical. And he's very light on his feet. You talk about the torque and turn at the line of scrimmage. Najee Harris is going to love running behind this guy because he will get his hands on you, and he will latch you, and he will turn you out in space. Look at him run. Get out and run, big fella. So athletic out there. Again, another example of him in space. Moving targets. Watch, that is just nasty. You shouldn't be able to move like that at that size, and I love the temperament with which he plays. He's got a little nasty to him, CD.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about it, left side, remember they tried to make Dan Moore work for a couple of seasons, 4th-round pick out of Texas A&M. I figured Broderick Jones left side, Chuck Secor, of course, stays on the right side because they upgraded the guards in the offseason.
He's got an extensive basketball background. I think that's where some of that athleticism comes in. But also, guys, really disciplined player out on the edge. He only had one false start, no holding calls this last year for an offense that, quite frankly, got after it as the national champions repeating in college football.
So, obviously, Steeler fans love it. Cam Hayward loves it. Kurt Warner, what do you think?
I love the pick as well. You think about this football team and young pieces at all the skill positions. Pickens and Johnson on the outside. Freiermuth, obviously you've got Kenny Pickett, the young quarterback, and then Najee Harris. And I don't know if there's anybody that has to work harder for his yards in the National Football League than Najee Harris. And so I love going and getting a big tackle to help secure the front for all those young talented players. And I love the fact that they jumped up over the Jets. DJ was talking about the Jets were one of those teams that were maybe in the market for an O-line guy in the draft. And now you wonder, where are they going to go? A lot of young talent on the outside as well. Do they add another piece for Aaron Rodgers? Obviously, that would be exciting for this young offense to go along with a great defense that